d of t is, and the upward travel at the distance dt is equal to 4.9 t squared. You want to find the upward travel between 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. That part does make sense, right? Right? Not from 0 to 2 seconds. You can find from 0 to 2 seconds, can you? Yeah, sure. The same way. If you can find how much it traveled from 2 to 2.5 seconds, you can find how much distance the apple traveled from 0 to 2 seconds. T squared. And then what are we going to write? D prime of t is equal to limit as delta t goes to 0. What should we write? (4.9) t plus delta t square minus, I hope you remember, 4.9 t square over delta t. Okay. Do you remember? You okay with that statement? Okay, because this is I'm gonna test you on this one very critically in exam 1. D prime over t limit. By the way, exam 1 I will grade it, so you're not gonna grade it. Okay. But still, I'll still be nice. Huh? It's in the syllabus.
When is it now?
Is this in the syllabus? I don't remember.
It says March 12th.
March 12th?
Yeah.
March 12th. So exam is on March 12th. Okay. Yeah.
Are you going to tell us?
We review every day, kind of.
Are you going to tell us the exact content of the exam?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you on Wednesday or Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Or I'll put up kind of a review sheet on the website.
Okay.
4.9. What are you gonna write? T square plus 2t delta t plus delta t square minus 4.9 t squared over what? Over delta t. So d prime of t is equal to limit delta t goes to 0. We gonna do what? What? The distribution. So 4.9 t squared plus 9.8 t delta t plus 4.9 delta t square minus 4.9 t square over everything over delta t. Hopefully something cancel. You see that, right?
Yeah.
And that's very important. If nothing cancel, then you must go back, take a look, and fix it. Okay. So, yeah, any question?
9.8 from the 2T?
9.8 T delta T.
What did 9.8 come from?
4.9 times 2.
9.8. Okay.
Okay. So, d prime of t is equal to limit delta t goes to 0. What should we do? What is the common factor? Delta t. We don't care about 4.9 really. We don't really care. Delta t. Because 4.9, this is not algebra. 4.9 doesn't bother us. Delta t is our common factor. So 9.8, what? T plus 4.9 delta t, very nice. Over delta t. Can I cancel delta t and delta t?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Everyone see that. Great. That's nice. D prime of t is equal to. I'm still gonna keep writing delta t limit. Limit delta t goes to 0. 9.8 t plus 4.9 delta t. By the way, now delta t goes to 0 because this is telling us let the delta t go to 0. So if delta t goes to 0, whatever comes with delta t still go to 0. So d prime of t is what? 9.8. 9.8 t. This is the derivative. Now we're gonna do part 2. Now we're gonna do part 1 we're done. Part 1 we're done. Then we're gonna put 2, and then we're gonna do different things now. But this is the derivative using the definition of derivative. Using the definition of derivative is most important. So when in the final I'm gonna give you probably one problem. I'll tell you first find the derivative by numerically, then using graph, and then do the power rule, and then the product rule, and then the quotient rule, and then the chain rule. So I'm gonna give you one problem. How many ways you have to find the derivative? Not 5 more. 6. 6. Yeah, right. 6. So the first one is numerical. Numerical. Second one is definition of limit. The third one is power rule, product rule, quotient rule, chain rule, and last one is graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 way. 7 way.
That's all final.
Huh?
That's all.
No, that's like first problem. No, I'm gonna make it easy so you can enjoy.
So you gonna put like 40 point on it?
No, yeah, probably. Yeah, okay.
So that's the whole calculus over there.
So, that's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there is a space over here, right? Oh. Okay. Okay, so here, what are you gonna do? You're gonna write d prime of t. D prime of t is what? 9.8 t. This is our magic. So this is our magic. What do we know? T is equal to 2. Let's first graph it. What is our dt? Dt is 4.9 t square, right? 4.9 is kind of 5. So you can kind of close your eyes and graph it. What is this variable? This is not x. What is it? T. T is in second. What is this? Is not y. D is in meter, right? Now parabola, right? Very nice. Is that okay? The other side of the parabola doesn't exist because the time is only positive. So this is actually like that, but other side you don't have to draw it. Does that make sense? Okay, is that okay?
Why is it DM instead of DC again?
D of t.
Right, no, I mean on the graph. Oh, meters, okay.
Oh, meter. Okay, meter.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. If you write D, that's fine. Forget about meter. Okay. So is this okay? So the dt is 4.9 t squared. Is that okay? So at 2, write 2 somewhere. This is 2. Write 2. Now we're gonna see what happened. But before we do see what happened, we're gonna find y. All right. How can we find that? So if dt is what is the height? If dt is 4.9 t squared at 2, 4.9 times what? 4. What is 4.9 times 4? 19? Is it 19? 19.6? 19.6, okay, great. 19.6, okay. All right, 19.6, great. So that's the height. Okay, so d comma t comma d is what? 2 comma? Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, great. Now what are we going to put over here to find the slope? We don't have the slope yet. So d prime of t is equal to 2 is equal to what? 9.82 times 2. And what is that? Say it again. Huh?
It becomes 19.6.
19.6. That's a coincidence. 19.6. So 19.6. So we're gonna come over here. Yeah. Which one? This one?
So you just replace
Then the x
the value of 2, right?
We did it before, like numerical. When you did numeric, it counts both sides and both sides approaches to 19.6. You saw that, right? Here you got 19.6. This is just coincidence. It doesn't have to be 19.6. Does that make sense? This is just coincidence.
But over here you have to put the value for t over there.
No, now you have to put the value of t. Y is equal to m x minus x1 plus y1. I'm writing this one so that you are familiar with this one. So y is what? What is our y? In this case, what is our y? D. M. What is our x? T. T1. This one is D1. So m is how much? 19.6. T minus T1. What is our T1? 2. What is our D1? 19.6. Yes. So what is the equation of the line? Equation of this line? This one. So D is equal to 19.6 T minus 19.6 times 2 is how much? Do it accurately. Huh? 39.2 plus 19.6. So what is our equation? Y equal mx plus b. 19.6 t minus how much?
Wait, if you see
19.6? Okay, minus 19.6. Now, is this equation for the parabola or for the diagonal line or the tangent line? Okay, so I'm going to count on the tangent line with this one. Slope of this tangent line is how much? 19.6. And what is the equation of this tangent line? 19.6 t minus 19.6.
how did you find the m before you get to that level?
How did I get m?
Yeah, I'm talking about up to what you have over here.
This is our slope.
Okay, you found d prime
Yeah,
and d prime of 2.
yeah, 2, that gives you the
Why
slope.
did you choose specifically 2? Why not m?
Because you want to find the slope at 2,
Oh, okay.
not 2.1. We can find it 2.1, doesn't matter really. As long as it is 1 point. You cannot find the slope at 2 points at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. What confusing is this the 19.6. This is
Extend to c of what? What is the factor?
this one?
No, in the middle. Limit
This one?
the way, no, the previous one.
In this one?
No. The one you showed me?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, right, read it, limit when,
Yeah, put it on my table.
limit when x approaches to c of
So f of x limit x approaches to c
what?
is the L. So
So, of f of x.
limit as x approaches to c, f of x. Okay, so you can write limit as x approaches to c, f of x is
Okay.
L. So you can write f of x over here. It's the same thing as community. Okay, let's do this one. How can we do this one? Y is equal to 1 over x plus 2. How can we do this one? How can we find the derivative? Y is equal to x plus 2 minus 1. Can we write that? Okay, if you write that, what are you going to do? Y prime is equal to negative 1 x plus 2 minus 2 f prime of f prime of what? F prime of
X plus
x plus 2. So f prime of x is equal to what? Minus 1 over what? X plus 2 square. What is the derivative of this one? Just 1. Almost nothing. So f prime of 2 is equal to negative 1,
16.
16. That's the limit. Relation. We're going to write 3t plus 1 half. Can we write that? Okay, that's the same statement. Now we know what to do. Which one is convenient? If someone do not ask you what rule to use, which rule you going to use? No, power rule not going to help you. Last one is the chain rule. This is binomial. This is binomial function. For binomial function, always use the chain rule. Life is much easier when you use the chain rule. So y prime is equal to delta t, y prime of t is equal to what? Half 3t plus 1. Say it again. Minus half. Is that okay? Minus half? Yes? Okay. So n minus 1, right? N minus 1. What is n? N is half minus 1. Is that okay? So half minus 1 is what? Make the common denominator. So 1 minus 2. So negative half. Is that okay? So negative half. Negative half.
What is the rule now? Is it power rule or chain rule?
The power rule is embedded in the chain rule. You remember that, or should I write again? I'm gonna write again. Y is equal to, give me something, x plus 1 n, or just something over something raised to n.
So n something
So y prime is equal to
n.
n minus 1. This part look like power rule, and then f prime of, so this is chain rule.
Okay, but why do you prefer the chain rule over the power rule in this case?
Because it's binomial.
It's n minus 1.
Yeah.
So power rule is this one.
Yeah, I understand the difference. I'm just saying, why do you prefer it down? Is it because of 1/2 or
It's the binomial, as he said.
it's because you okay.
It's binomial. What are you going to do now? Derivative of inside. I like that idea. 3t plus 1. What are you going to do now? This one is not super easy. So what are you going to do? On the top, what are you going to do what are you going to put on the top? What is the derivative of this one? 3. Is there any other thing you put on the top? I don't think so. What do you put on the downstairs? 2. And then what else? Is that okay?
It's a square, yeah.
Is that okay? This is algebra. This negative brought it down. Okay? This half is equivalent to square root. That okay, right? If there was no negative, then I would put the same statement on the top. Since this is negative, I put it down. That's okay? Okay. All right, great. I am done, or I have to do one more thing? No, not rationalize. I have to find the limit when t is 1. So y prime 1 is what? 3 over 2 is yeah, perfect square. It's supposed to be perfect square because you did everything correctly. So y prime 1 is equal to 3 over 4. Probably we're just not going to use the calculus right away because we know algebra. So what are we going to write? We're gonna kind of see there is some kind of indication. This is almost look like what? This top almost look like what? The difference between two perfect square. Difference between two perfect square, a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. This is almost, I'm not saying this is the difference between two perfect square, almost. So you have to make it look like the difference between perfect square. How can you do that? Only one way you can do that, so that you can cancel the top and bottom. No. Radical. Who said that? Radical. Someone said radical. So radical, yes. Radical x plus 3. Oh, no. Then I have to multiply this one with something else so that I still get x minus 9. Right, good. Minus 3. Okay. So this is as equivalent to this one. We talked about it like other day. First day. Is there any way you can write 4 without writing 4? So we talked about it before. X minus 3. So this one cancel. Limit as x goes to 9. What is it? X plus 3. So this would be, what is it? Square root of 9 plus 3. And that is 3 plus 3. And that is 6. This is one approach. Now we're going to use the graph. This is fine. It is 6. Limit is 6 when x goes to 9. X minus 9 over the square root of x plus 3. Now we're going to do the graph. Y is equal to x minus 9 over the square root of x minus 3. You're going to graph it. What is the parent graph of this guy? What is the parent graph? The parent graph is, we know that. Parent graph is this one. How the parent graph look like? We need to know how the parent graph look like. Graphing is very important. Without graphing, you cannot even move. Is that how it looks like? Is that how the parent graph look like? Yeah? This is how it look like, right? The parent graph, right? Okay. If the parent graph look like this one, this is the child graph. This come from here. How this come from here? What is the difference between this and this? Nothing. Why? Because what is the difference? There is nothing, no difference. So then the child graph should look like same thing, but starting from where? 1, 2, 3. At 9, when x approaches to 9, it approaches to 6.